Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and Imperial, issue number 2. You know, we've been waiting a whole month for this comic book to come out, and it finally comes out, and it's exactly as good as we expected it to be. It deepens the mystery more. It sort of starts to play off of an old trope, and then quickly gets interrupted, and then made, you know, somewhat different. And it's like, okay, I don't know where to stand on this, but I do think I have some clue as to one of two of the identities that the final character, the main bad guy in this, could be. But I don't know anything. But I'll keep that until the end, or and I'll warn spoiler beforehand. Anyway, let's get talking about this comic book. Let's talk about who made the comic book first. So this is issue number 2, part 5 through I think it went to 8. Part 1 through 4 is the first issue, right? The very first issue has 4 parts in it. This one has several parts. So it starts off saying 5 on the right corner. Don't get confused by that. Anyway, so the writer is Jonathan Hickman. The artists, Iban Coelho and Federico Vincentini. That's not the same Federico I was thinking about. Oh well. Color artist, Federico Blee. That's the guy I was thinking of. I'm joking around. I knew who these guys were in advance. Cover artist, Marco Cecchetto and Marty Gracia, excuse me. And the cover artist, there's a whole bunch of them out there. Letters by VC's Corey Petit and Ariana Maher. And yeah, let's get on to this book. There's a bunch of characters in this. I love the little two-headed or two-eyed whatever, the fish, the crazy fish thing. Reminded me of an episode of The Simpsons. So they tell us who some of the main characters are, who we got to pay attention to this, which is, I don't want to say typical of Hickman, but it is typical of Hickman's larger stories that involve a lot of characters, right? So I'm happy to see this again, back like from the House of X and all that good stuff. So all these ships, the flagships and the lesser ships, are going out there. They're going to go after Black Panther. Why? In the previous issue, don't forget the world of Wakanda, right? The Intergalactic Planetary Association of Wakanda, which to me, again, is one of the dumbest freaking things imaginable. But hey, that's just my opinion. Who am I? um, yeah, these guys are going after them because it turns out that Wakanda apparently assassinated at least 5 different House representatives, including leaders, like, for instance, Jason of Spartax, Star Lord's father, right? So that's kind of a big deal. So these guys are all this Unitarian head are going after the this alliance of Wakanda. They're the ones who are responsible for selling the bullets that they use to break through shields and everything. They very quickly capture Shuri. That was cool. It was such a silly thing. When I'm sitting there looking and I see, Black Panther hiding in the background, the Shi'ar Imperial Guard come down and boom, they're like, oh, here's a Black Panther. Gets taken out immediately by Gladiator, which, yes, that's exactly how it should be. Almost looked like Omega beams, how they kind of turned around on themselves. Um, just no angular lines, right? Only curves. Looked like a spiral, a delta, or excuse me, a theta, right? Anyway, so she gets taken out. The report goes back to T'Challa. Hey, your sister's been captured. It's like, oh, that was the second mistake they made today. The first, obviously, being attacking Wakandan space, right? A lot of cocky there. Now, I will admit, um, these guys who captured her should have removed her uniform. I mean, she's got to sit there buck naked. One, a lot of us wouldn't mind. Two, this is a family channel. Three, at least you have a better understanding that she's probably not wearing anything. Remember, she's not some great warrior, all right? Maybe as far as humans are concerned, yes, absolutely. She's BA, from the beginning to the end. But compared to, like, the Shi'ar Imperial Guard, come on. There's not a one of them that she's going to be able to handle, like one-on-one easily. So, but then again, depends on who's writing, right? I'm sure there's a lot of you out there who'd be like, she would take out Gladiator and Thanos with their hands tied behind her back. Sure. Um, anyway, so that's actually cool. I like that because she is a thief. I shouldn't say thief. So sorry. as soon as what went in my head was Dungeons and Dragons. It's like there's the thief, the rogue class, right? And the thief is only powerful when they're hiding. But if they get caught hiding, so, and there's a whole room full of warriors there, thief ain't doing jack, right? And that's the way this panned out. It was cool. They did not play her at all. They played her very well. She hid something on. Star Lord and Nova are out there like, you just use a poison. It's like a neural inhibitor. He'll be paralyzed for a little while. It's like, okay, one, we should have checked that. Two, thanks, good job, excellent aim. Also, she saved Star Lord's life. So yeah, awesome. I love this. And she also points out that here's the big thing. If there's nothing else you get from this comic book, get this. She says this is a lie. This whole thing that just happened is a lie. You guys are here attacking us based off of a lie. That's okay. It's not your fault. You can't see that this is not true vibranium because I'm looking at you saying that you have evidence. Let me see the evidence that we actually did the sale and the transfer and all that stuff. It's like, okay, the sale is legitimate. The paperwork, all this stuff, everything here is legitimate, but the product itself is false. They paid more for this false product to look like it's actually vibranium, Wakandan vibranium, but it's not. And it's not your fault that you can't tell. This is our fault for being such a hidden nation. Holy crap, imagine that. Somebody in Wakanda actually taking responsibility for something. I love to see that. Shuri is absolute tops of my list right now because Hickman had her say that. Because it's true. If you keep your recipes, all your product, everything secret, how can we tell that it's not the same? So she's like, it's not your fault. Okay, but I am telling you, this is not the same. This is not our stuff. This is not even real. And he's like, oh, well, we got to do something about this. And she's like, yeah, let me help. God damn, I love this. And then it looks like the scrolls start doing the whole secret invasion thing and start coming in. One of them even goes and says an Earth-like quote. Feel free to check for it. You know what I'm saying? And leave it in the comments if you found it. There's a very Earth quote. It's like, you got to be an Earthling to know this quote. Come on. So anyway, I love this, and it's with the Wakandas, it's with the Shi'ar, it's with everybody. They're all over the place. I'm like, oh no, not another scroll thing. And I was just about to be like, I'm done. I don't really want to read another scroll invasion. Then all of a sudden, we all get played because there's somebody behind even that. I'm digging what's going on. This is a multicultural cluster F of really awesome stuff. Guys, even just when you're looking at the previews, am I wrong? It looks like a big cluster, right? Nah. This is exactly what Hickman wants it to be, and it's beautiful, and I am loving, and I usually don't like these big, gigantic, spacey stories where everybody's getting together. I'm also going to point out, like, Black Panther goes one-on-one against World War Hulk and Brawn. Come on. But I will say, when you look at the Marvel's, Marvel Comics Presents in the beginning of this, on the top of the title page, not the front cover, I'm saying the title page inside. What do you call it? It looks very much like MCU, like Marvel Studios. It looks almost the exact same. It's the same flavor and everything. And I think a lot of this is going back, trying to tie in the Earth 616 or the Marvel 616 tabletop role-playing game. The pen and paper tabletop game by Matt Forbeck, amongst people. All the characters are essentially the same. They're just on different power scales. But yes, interesting. New phone. So people on a lower power scale can F with people on a much higher power scale. I'm not a fan of that by almost any measure of judgment, but I get it. And I'm getting old enough that I just don't really care to fight against it anymore. I'm good. Whatever, it is what it is. Complain, argue, they're not going to change, right? So, yeah, that. It's weird. But anyway, there was so much more that happened in this. I'm not here to try and spoil the entire comic for you. There's a lot. There's like 30 plus pages of absolute sheer and utter awesomeness in this comic book. I highly recommend reading it. You're going to read a whole lot more than what I just said. You're like, Professor Bill, why didn't you talk about this stuff? The answer is because I didn't want to spoil the whole thing for you. I think I spoiled enough. Also, spoilers coming up. I think I know who this might be. Judging by the way it looks and the way just by the way the person looks, it might be Jack of Hearts, which would be odd, but the person sometimes goes a little loco en la cabeza, right? Who I think it actually might be, though, is Maelstrom. Go and look up Maelstrom from the Quasar comic books, all right? You might be a little bit surprised at how similar, right? The bracelets don't necessarily match, but the idea that there are bracelets do. The shape, the color, everything. I don't think this is Grandmaster. I think they're trying to make us think it is. I think this might be Maelstrom, but whoever it is, they're doing a heck of a chest playing job. Anyway, guys, I'll talk to you later. Like the video, watch an ad. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.